is going on, my cinephiles? It's your boy. Today we got another review for Saw 2. This time around we have Detective Matthews along with fellow police officers and SWAT teams locating Jigsaw's lair and to go arrest him, but they discover that his arrest is only a part of Jigsaw's plans. Matthew soon learns that 8 people are trapped in an old house and are playing one of Jigsaw's games. One of them is his son. Now, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for the first film, however, I do have a lot of nostalgia for this one most personally, and spoiler alert, this one is my personal favorite. I think this one is better than the first one. This was written by, at the time, first-time director Darren Lynn Bousman. He went on to direct 2, 3, and Spiral. He also came up with a script that was very Saw-esque. However, once Saw came out and it was a huge success, Lee Winnell was brought in to punch up the script to make it more of a Saw film and be more of a continuation from the first film. And I think the results were absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love this one. I have fond memories of going to the library and seeing this film on the shelves and getting very interested, not only by the 2 severed fingers, but also by the tagline. And this movie made it feel a little bit more fun. While the traps get a little bit more creative and they don't really go too much into the gore in this one as much as they do in the next films, I think this movie, compared to the first one, is a little bit more tamer as far as the traps go and how much blood and gore we actually see in this movie, because it still follows the same roots that we have in the first film, where it's more of a small condensed story. This time around we are just literally stuck in just one location instead of following different plot points like the first one did. This time around we have a group of people that are trapped in one space and they're trying to figure out how are they going to get out of Jigsaw's trap. They all find out they all have one thing in common together, and that is that they were all arrested by Donnie Wahlberg's character in the film. I think his character at first is a bit of a rocky start. It took me a while for me to get into his character and really his relationship with his son, because they really don't have the best relationship, and then it's only when his son goes missing that he actually tries to figure out what the hell is going on. And the way that this movie is played out is absolutely brilliant, and I think the twist in this movie is a little bit better than the first film. I don't know if it's because we feel like we're watching this whole thing play out in real time, and then, spoiler alert, once we get to the ending, we find out that it's actually pre-recorded. I think the way that this movie was constructed, the way that it was written, I think it flowed a little bit better than the first film, and I think there were more intriguing parts in this film. I really love the Venus flytrap in the beginning. That really had me traumatized as a kid for so long that it took me a little while for me to actually get through the film when I first saw it. I think some of the traps in this movie are a little bit more clever than they are in the rest of the series. I think this was the one where they were trying to find their footing and realize what was actually going a little bit too far and what made the first one really intriguing, because when you have the first one and there's not a lot of traps in that, you just see the aftermath of what's actually going on. And this one, you see the whole thing play out. You see people getting shot, getting burned. But there is one thing that I absolutely hate in this movie, and that is the needle trap. I am not the biggest fan of needles, so when you see Amanda getting thrown into a needle pit, yeah, that wasn't for me. I think the interactions between Donnie Wahlberg and Tobin Bell were great. The way that they feed off of each other absolutely worked. It just flowed a little bit better. It had a little bit more of a pacing. Some of the characters in this movie to this day really don't work for me. I feel like the character of Xavier is a little bit played out. He goes a little bit over the top at times, but some of the characters really didn't matter to me. Some of them I liked, others I didn't. And so you kind of had that kind of contrast there that absolutely worked for me. But overall, I'm going to go ahead and give Saw 2 a 6.5 out of 10. Not a perfect movie, but I think this movie is a little bit better than the first one. I'm not sure if it's because I have a little bit more nostalgia for this one than I do for the second one, but I still find this movie a little bit more entertaining. I think this one is better than the first one, and to me personally, this one is my favorite in the series. But those are my thoughts on Saw 2. Are you guys a big fan of this film, or are you not? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below and let me know, what is your favorite Saw film?